is this what you want? And I'm like, no. And you're like, God, what could it be? What about this? And you just keep trying to impress your child.
Like Frozen, the gummy little chews that like, you love.
Say it again. Maybe I can make it out. Like,
Cookies, the coloring book. What is it? Your night-night. What do you need?
You need to poop. You need to wear. Okay, let's go. And she's like, yes. And then you go over there and she's like, no. And you're like, God.
Why are you doing this?
Hello, and welcome to the All Nighter Podcast.
This is where the insomniacs come to get silly.
With your hosts, Ashlyn Benson, Alexis Leach, and Rhonda Lou.
Oh, well.
Anyway, Rhonda's here now.
Yeah, and now I've arrived. If you couldn't hear me before, I'm here. I was here the whole time.
She's been here the whole time. So what have you guys been up to? How's life?
Dude, well, it was actually our year anniversary the other day. Yeah, and that shit was really sweet, man.
How
and
has
even
it already
like
been a year?
I know.
That's so crazy.
It trips me out because I don't know, these last like 6 months in particular, I feel like have gone by really fast. But it was wonderful because it was a day that he had his show at Church Studios, and I feel like they were like he had kind of been like going back and forth as far as like how much he really wanted to pursue his solo stuff, but I think some of the people there were actually saying things that he like needed to hear, especially about the harder songs, like the more sad songs or whatever. Like there was another musician who had come up to him afterwards that we started following too, who was like, yeah, no, like I've been there, I feel that, and it's so like it's cool to see, and like it was awesome, and I hope he gets more of that in the future. And I think yeah, it was a lovely day, and like it's almost like we were like both still like, I don't know, in lovey-dovey land like the next day too, and it was really cool because he had like a day off afterwards as well, and it was really fucking nice.
That's what's up. That sounds fun.
Really
That's pretty
fucking
sweet.
nice. Oh yeah, and we went to the cat cafe and we actually hung with the kitties this time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How long did you like get to pet all of them? And
yeah,
are you gonna
get
adopt
an
one?
hour, and yes, one day. I don't think it's that far off in the future either, because like Penelope's birthday is coming up too, and like
she likes cats.
Yes, and so we might actually take her there too.
She would love that.
I know. I think she would be, and I think Damien would love it too. But yeah, I think. I mean, there was this one little dude, Stanley, that was like he chose Chad. Like me and Chad were both sitting on the floor. They have like different like cuddle spots around, and and he just got into his lap and started chilling, and then later on he moved on to my lap and started chilling. And I was like, oh man! And we were like looking through the adoption book for his name, and we couldn't find him. We were like, God damn it! I wonder if somebody already grabbed him.
Probably.
He was so freaking cute.
Aw, little kitties.
Cuddly little babies.
I think I need a kitten in my life.
Yeah.
So if you
just need the fix, you know, because like it's a good place to go. It's like $10 an hour.
Oh yeah, well, I
like
want to take Jan. I mentioned it to her, and she's like, oh, "Let's go, girl." And I'm like, "Girl, let's go."
Yeah, dude, they were playing like hella like early 2000s hits and stuff, and it was funny. It was a nice little vibe. It was kind of throwback.
I need, I don't think I've actually ever done this, but I need to spend time with my own kitty listening to Taylor Swift. I think that would be a good full circle moment.
Yeah?
She's like a kitty cat lover.
Is she?
I don't know why I said it like that, but yeah.
I mean, I understand what you were saying, but as a euphemism, that could have been an entirely different thing.
Yeah. What did I mean?
Oh, that's wonderful.
I think part of my existence is saying things that I have no idea what I'm talking about. Like a riff, you kind of have to keep pushing it in a way. Yeah,
and like kind of like stretching, like yeah. And it's great. I think it works out. As a comedian, it's perfect.
Oh my gosh, I've been missing performing so much.
Yeah,
it feels like 1,000 years since the last time I performed, and I think it's been like a month and a half or something.
No, I get what you're saying.
And oh my gosh, I just feel like I know who I am better when I perform. Like I'm that's like my most confident self, you know. That's me like putting myself out there, like facing my fears basically, because every time it is still scary, and there is like a lot of thinking like, man, I suck at everything, you know, like there's just, but it's like when I go, even if I bomb, I mean, it depends on the bomb.
No, I understand entirely.
Sometimes it can still be like,
it can kind of like reinstill that sense of self in like a way of like I'm
humbling.
capable and I can do this shit.
I can do hard things
and I can be silly and not be fearless, but do things in kind of embracing the fear. Yeah, as you go. And that's the thing too, is if you do kind of like embrace it a little bit, like you can actually kind of use the fear to your strengths in a way. Like, because like the adrenaline that you feel like performing, even with singing and stuff, it can actually make you sing better some of the time, just because you're breathing deep and you're like fucking, you know, whatever.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just need to like make some freaking moves over here. But it is
I'm
easy to just like get
moves.
sucked in by parenthood, you know?
Yeah.
Because like I'm so tired, and that's the common theme from a lot of parents, you know, and it's just true in the way of like, I mean, I forget how being so tired affects my mood and my outlook on life.
Yeah.
Because when I'm tired, like everything, I'm just mad at everything.
Yeah, and shit feels
Just like
bleak.
the wind isn't the way I need it to be. You know, like those irrational things.
It's not blowing right.
You know, it's fucking giving me allergies.
Oh man, yeah.
I don't know,
I
but I'm
totally
just
get
like, it's like I'm losing motivation for everything. Like you can see how people can just like give up. I mean, especially women, and I'm not giving up. Okay, this is just a
These are the
feeling,
feelings,
a
yeah.
momentary feeling.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, I mean, you know, the pandemic was hard for me to not be performing. I fucking dressed up as Jim Carrey in The Mask because I was like, what else to do? I can make videos. Maybe somebody will see me. Make me famous. So, you know, I think I need to perform. I think I need that outlet because
Right.
otherwise I'm just an insane person.
No, you just find another means for that creative outlet. And I look at this as
Yeah.
somewhat of a creative outlet
Yes,
as well,
this
too.
helps immensely
Yeah.
for many levels.
Because it is, I mean, it's not performing in the same way that it, like, you know, that kills
But it's like being the self, like, you know,
Yes.
true self. Like, I'm
Exactly.
not like scared to be myself around you guys, you know,
Exactly.
like I think I walk into a lot of social settings and stuff where I just maybe don't fully trust the people or whatever, you know, to like, I think if you are weird and silly, sometimes when people react weird to it or they're like, that's carried with you over time, you know, and that's why, like, with stand-up, it's so funny because I feel like the magic of stand-up is like, see, you love it. You don't have to like think it or be mean to it because it's different and weird, you know, whatever. So I don't know, but I kind of lost where I was going.
No, I mean, I think the people that don't vibe with it are just strange. Because I mean, it's so much more fun, dude. Like I almost feel like the people who don't vibe have like a weird, like uptight,
Or like a rule to not have fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they're like, I can't enjoy myself that much, you know, or I can't be that silly.
And maybe it's also fear of judgment and fear of
precisely, yes,
you know.
because they want to be normal or whatever.
Yeah, and we all just want to belong and feel like we're loved.
And we are, but like we can be our weirdest selves and still be our best selves, you know.
Yeah. And then I think that is my best self.
Yes, and we belong with each other, you know.
Right.
We find our people, and it's so much more fun that way, you know.
I don't know why that made me think of that's the way you are. Da, 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 da. Full House. Is that
Yeah.
it? I don't know why. I think it's just I put you in the montage family, like people I like be myself with.
The rolling movie in your mind.
Dad just like
Oh, I know. You do the silliest dances growing up too. That would belong in a montage. That's so cute. But no, I do think that like being tired really does like affect everything. Like, I mean,
Everything.
You can't, because I mean, you can't pour from an empty cup. It's like the common adage or whatever. But I mean, there's really not much you can do other than like just get the rest you need, and then the creativity and everything can kind of come back.
Well, and I kept telling Mom, I was like, I feel like even when I get breaks, it feels like it's still not enough. And then she's like, well, also maybe you're not like taking a real break, because if I'm getting time away from Raya, I'm either editing or doing something else, you know. I mean, it's getting something done, running an errand, you know, whatever. I mean, like, I think the gym can kind of be like a good place where I can, like, that kind of feels like it's for me or whatever. But yeah, this week I haven't gone at all because I had to go to physical therapy and stuff, and yeah, I don't know.
I mean, well, in parenthood especially, there's like, I mean, there's such a constant like pull for your time.
Yeah.
And like, I think both parties feel it, but mothers in particular, biologically, like just feel it on a very deep sense and stuff. And so,
like, the mom guilt is annoying because you know that it's not rational, you know, like with Raya, like, crying and stuff, you know, it's kind of hard for me to function when she's crying for a period of time, you know, and Adam can like kind of deal with it more and just, you know. It doesn't like wear on him the same way that it wears on me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, or like, because I think it feels like a call to action for you on a biological level.
It's like something's not okay, and it is, but it is just like it's whatever the wiring that got rewired after birth is
intense.
So fucking annoying. It's basically
real.
like Big Mouth, like just another personality that pops up that's like your little, you know, hormone monster or whatever. Like, it's just like, oh, hey, are you the worst mother ever? I'm like, oh, no. What? Like, she's been crying for 10 minutes. What are you gonna do about it, you bad man? You know, just like no, I'm reading online, it's okay. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
They're gonna cry sometimes.
You know?
They're gonna cry sometimes, and you might not, especially while she's still like in between of communicating. You're not always gonna understand why she's crying.
It's literally probably just her not being able to communicate what she wants to, honestly.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like, that she just can't get it out, so she's like
so frustrated.
You know?
Yeah.
Because
that
I mean,
would make a hell of a lot of sense, dude. Yeah,
I've had
crazy.
those moments where I'm like, what's the fucking word I'm thinking of, dude? What the fuck is it? And then, like, I get really, you know, I'm like, oh my god. Like,
yeah, no, straight up.
So I get it, babies everywhere.
I do too, man. I mean, sometimes our brains really can struggle to communicate properly, and that shit. When mine is failing in one way or another, oh, it does make me so mad.
And
too.
you know,
I get so annoyed.
Kind of like speaking on that, it's kind of interesting because I was having a conversation with my parents the other day where we were talking about my brother and how he was the perfect child and definitely wasn't really, really bad all the time. But how really what happened is that he had oh my God, I can't even remember, the tubes in his ears or whatever didn't develop the correct way or whatever. I guess it's pretty common.
Oh yeah, for kids, yeah.
So he had to have it like surgically fixed, and after that he was finally able to hear us and was able to learn, and that went on for about 2 years because we didn't know what was wrong, and like none of the doctors, you know, that ever examined him were like, hey, the tubes in his ears are wrong. Like, I don't know if that's something that's pretty common when you examine babies, if that's something that you can tell, but like for a while my mom was like, oh my freaking God, like, is my child deaf? Like, can he not hear me? Because for a long time he wouldn't respond to certain things. And after he got that fixed and he was able to kind of start learning the communication, I was the only one that could understand him.
She was the same with me.
Exactly. And I wonder if that's like a thing with older siblings and younger siblings.
Because you can remember how you sounded and what you were saying.
I wonder if that was also another portion of it. Because I just thought that it was like, oh, he's my brother, I don't know what he's trying to say. Like, what's wrong with you, Mom? Like,
how do you not understand this?
Maybe I was the hormone monster. But yeah. But yeah, I just started thinking about that after you had mentioned that.
Yeah, well, because like with the older siblings aren't that far removed from that phase at that point,
right?
You know, like if they're like a decade older or something, they might not be able to understand in the same way that just a couple of years difference you can.
Right. Yeah.
And like with Raya, man, the more we understand with her, it's gonna make me so happy. It's gonna make me so
Ashlyn's
happy.
like, yeah, me too.
I think it will make everybody happier.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I get that that's frustrating. But
you can't mind read either, you know? So it's like it's nothing you can do, really.
Well, it's also just like the more tired I am, it's like it's all an unfun situation. She's tired. She can't communicate what she wants. I'm tired. I'm like barely. I'm like
I don't know what you need.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you know, you get to points where you're like, is this what you want? Yeah. And I'm like, no. And you're like, God, what could it be? What about this? And you just keep trying to impress your child.
Like Frozen, like gummy little chews that
like,
you love.
Say it again. Maybe I can make it out. Like, you know,
cookies, the coloring book. What is it? Your night. What do you need?
You need to poop. You need to wear. Okay, let's go. And she's like, yes. And then you go over there and she's like, no. And you're like, God,
why are you doing this?
It just starts. I mean, it's like very hilarious.
It's
always after.
Yeah.
The things too, because it's like when trying. I was telling Alexis.
But during it's got to be like just so overstimulating.
Oh yes, like you're like cannot compute. Like things just aren't working. Nothing. You're just like. It does feel like hellish. Like, where's the escape?
You're like, does the next door neighbor think I'm murdering my child?
Like, yes, yeah, like, cause yeah, like last night, like she was screaming, cause like she had been in the crib for a little while. I was like, maybe, and usually she does. Like, usually she'll calm down, even if she's crying, she calms down and like goes to sleep. But this was just not the case. So then she just gets to this point where she's like, and then I go and get her. But she just always expects to be brought down to the couch. And so when I tried to take her to the bed, like, it's so crazy because I turn off the lights and then she's like, you know, just like, and then her face is like right there with mine and just like seeing this very mad baby face just in the dark, just the backlit and everything. The growls are so scary. Like, you really are like, should I be really scared or is this okay? Like, is this cool? Like, someone help me.
Like, are you chill right now? Are you chill?
So then it was just like, nothing would make her stop doing that besides taking her downstairs to the couch. So that is where we went. And obviously you don't want to be controlled by your toddler. But sometimes you don't know what to do.
Listen, I mean, well, honestly, I feel like in some instances, or even maybe most, you know, having your child be where they are most comfortable, whatever that might be, might kind of just be the easiest route.
Yeah, and so that's when, like, when she wakes up in the middle of the night, she's the same way, where it's like she cannot go back to bed, no matter whichever bed I take her to, is screaming like tantrum until we get to the couch, and then it's like it goes from okay, TV. It's just like, oh my god. And then I put on a movie that I don't mind falling asleep to listening to. And I just like kind of am half awake on the couch until she's ready to go back to the bed. And then it's no wonder I've got all the songs stuck in my head, you know. We're listening to sound music a lot, so it's do, re, mi, just in my head all day.
Do, re, do, re, female, do.
The original Miss Rachel.
Yeah, right? For real. But oh my god, yeah, that sounds wild, dude. I mean, but the transition that you did for her is so funny. Oh my god.
It's really scary.
It's actually terrifying. Oh my goodness.
Well, and I
Man.
think too, I could be wrong about this, but I think in like early childhood development, especially like
Looks like you're looking at a document.
I'm trying to recall.
You're seeing it.
From like 2 to 3 and even into 4 a little bit, they're still kind of very black and whiting, you know. So like it's either like really good or it's really bad or whatever, you know. And so, but as they get older, the more they can kind of differentiate. Like it's not all one or the other.
Well, what about you, Alexis?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Was I good at that segue?
Did you say was I good at that? Oh my god, that's amazing. It's so funny. Sometimes I'll catch things listening back that I don't hear the first time, and then otherwise there's sometimes just a little delay where I'll catch things where I'm like, oh my god, you know.
I know it's funny to watch your face when you realize it when I'm editing.
Yes, like you did it earlier with something that I had said, but I don't remember what it was now. But yeah, I saw you laughing.
It gets me good. But yeah, dude, what's good?
Oh my gosh. Not much. I saved a turtle this morning.
Oh yeah, she sent me the video, and I was
your
like,
father's footsteps.
I know. I was like, what the heck? My dad just saved a turtle like last week, and now I'm doing it. Are we like the turtle saviors?
I love a mind meld. I love it so much.
We forgot to do our little
Oh, that takes me back, dude.
right. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since we did a little good synchronized word there.
I know. And a little psych reference too.
Yeah,
God
exactly.
Oh God.
Man, shout out James Rd.
Amen. Amen.
oh my gosh, wow, I completely forgot that Psych existed.
Yeah.
But I
No,
loved
it's a good
Psych.
show.
Like I freaking loved it. Like
Dude, the musical episode was awesome.
it's weird to go back now
movie, I think.
though. Like
Yeah.
I just recently, like in the last couple of years, it's like such a different tone than a lot of TV shows are these days.
Yeah.
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 Well, a lot of USA kind of was, but recently I saw that Monk actually just got another movie on Peacock,
Yep.
and I was like, I might watch that. I love Tony Shalhoub. He's such a cutie. But yeah, I miss Psych all the time, and if they ever do more shit together, I'll be stoked.
I think they are doing another movie here soon.
Oh yeah, and then James Rd was in that Million Little Pieces show.
Oh yeah,
and it was a serious role, so it was like
it was good.
it was.
Too.
I still liked it. Yeah,
Yeah.
because there were a lot of people in there that were people that I
that we knew.
fucked with.
Yeah, right. No, that's typically how I phrase it whenever I'm like talking about actors or directors. I'm like, oh yeah, I really fuck with that director. They're great or whatever. And it's like, you know,
I love too that like there'll be times like if someone like an elderly person will ask, oh, do you like you will say that to anybody, be like, oh yeah, I fuck with that lady.
I can get behind that.
Fucks with that heavy. Yeah.
I used to say I can get behind that way too often too. I swear, like, you know,
like
I
get behind it to fuck it.
Well, no, just that I stand
to fuck
behind
with.
that. I fuck with, I suppose. But yeah, no, I kind of have been in the mood for some nostalgic stuff. I really enjoyed this season of Black Mirror, though. I will admit, there was maybe like one episode that was a little weaker for me, but the rest of them were pretty goddamn solid. I loved it. But I kind of miss that like more fun feel that a lot of shows don't have anymore. But Psych and like Monk like definitely did.
Even 30 Rock is such a different feel.
Oh
now.
my
I was
God,
rewatching that one too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's so crazy too because it just felt like the air was different, you know.
Yeah.
Like, when Obama was
literally.
president and everything, you know.
Literally.
I know it just
was just a better time.
Yeah.
I'm like the literally like the air just feels different. Like
Yeah.
I was walking through my house like 2 days ago or something, and like I was like, smells like spring, and then I was like, whoa, I just got transported back in fucking time, dude. Like, because every time, I don't know what it is, there's like a certain smell of spring, but it's like not like just, you know, somebody's like, oh, it smells like spring outside. It's like, I don't know if it has to do with my house and the smell of spring or
like
what.
what's
fresh
near
rain
you in
and
your
stuff.
backyard and stuff.
Right, exactly. But like it like transported me. I was like, whoa. I'm like,
I'm like 7
this,
years
like,
old
makes-
right now.
Yeah, literally. I was like, where's my grandma at? Like, not here. But yeah, it's just crazy how that can happen.
No, yeah.
Yes, no. Smells are times transporting. You know, like they.
Oh yeah, well actually your olfactory senses are most tied to your memories.
Yeah.
Well, and it's crazy too. So like, so on I think it was on our anniversary, like we ended up like taking a bath together, and I think this is fine to share. But anyway, it reminded me of when we were kids, like when we were both just sitting there for a minute, because we switched positions for a little, like afterwards, where he was like laying on me, but when we were first just like sitting there, I was like, oh, like I flashed back to when we were little, and I was just like, holy fuck. It like absolutely, like it made me smile, but also just like almost, I don't know, brought a tear to my eye. It was just like a very wholesome feeling.
I get that when I'm laying down with Raya to bed with. I get that memory with Rhonda, like when we would sleep together, and Raya doesn't like when I turn away from her, and Rhonda was like always the same, like don't keep facing me, or you would say something like that. And there's just so many moments when I'm sleeping with Raya that remind me of like
Little
being with
me.
Rhonda. Yeah. It's like, oh, I take care of my little sister, even though in the day I'm like, get off me.
You know.
I think now I can know that as overstimulation. You know, back then I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a very natural thing. Like, I know that, like, for me, there were different things that got me overstimulated. It wasn't so much like people per se, but like if I felt like pressure for anything or whatever, that was when I would start to feel like really overstimulated.
When you felt what?
Like pressure for things.
Pressure? Like social pressure? Or
Yeah, exactly. Like it wasn't actually like the people themselves like stressing me out, but just me feeling like, oh, I'm gonna say all the wrong things or whatever. That's the kind of overstimulation I would get
As a kid.
Yeah, but like as far as like touching and like cuddling, I've always been like very, very affectionate in that way, and that's why like me and my partner are perfect for each other. Because I'm so tactile, dude. It's the best. It's the best.
I am not. I'm like, don't fucking hug me. Unless it's certain people.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, it's for exclusive people. The best people. Because I swear, I've been needing all the hugs all the time. Like, dude, I mean, there's even like some study or whatever that like someone's intake should be around like 11 hugs a day or something like that. And well, it doesn't necessarily have to be with different people, you know, but just like with people in your life.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I need to up my intake.
I don't know. I feel like I need 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Same. Like
Nice.
2.
Yeah, you know.
2?
Maybe even just 1.
I cannot. I could never. I would perish.
Yeah, Jordan's love language is definitely physical touch, and sometimes I'm like,
Yeah.
but not
I'm all
really
about
though.
it.
Only with him am I like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I've never really had a boyfriend that was like that. He's the only one that's ever been like his love language is very physical touch, where he's like all huggy and whatnot.
I feel like most of mine were like that.
Or like if we're sleeping, he'll like have his foot like touching my foot, and I'm like,
Sometimes me and Adam go butt to butt.
Yeah, so we'll do the butt to butt, or like one leg over the other, or like sometimes like I'll have my arm here, he'll have his arm here, you know, and I'll be on him, and it's nice.
do y'all wake up that way, or are you like separate?
Well, we always wake up at different points. So most of the time when he's like getting up for work, I just roll off of him.
Oh. You thought you had it, didn't you, camera? Repeat.
Shit.
Here, I'm gonna grab my Coke real quick.
Yeah, dude.
You said a Coke?
Yeah, you want me to get
Yes, please. Thank you.
Hell yeah, brother.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. We got it. It worked.
I know, dude. That makes me really happy because, man, when we lose stuff, it's tragic. It hurts.
Yeah, the one last week hurt big time. Y'all will hear about it, and then in the next, not the next episode, but
in the last episode, if you tuned in today.
not the next aired episode, but the one after.
Yeah, who knows what the next one will be? I certainly don't. We were saying earlier, like they sometimes come with like plans, topics, and stuff, but I haven't done that a singular fucking time. I would love to, you know, but most of the time, I think even if I tried, I just wouldn't remember, or I wouldn't find the flow into it or something. And normally, I am just kind of rolling with the flow of what we're talking about. You have returned. You have returned.
How's it going down there?
It's chill.
Yeah, she seemed in a pretty good mood.
Yeah.
When we got here.
Yeah, she's I think sometimes she just needs to see people, you know, and maybe even more so on the hard days. And sometimes I don't always do that, you know, because I'm like, it's crazy. I'm just gonna isolate.
Dude, and it's been raining crazy these last couple of days.
I've loved it.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Good. I
Like
like
the sidewalks of our apartments turn into like these little rivers when it rains really hard. And dude, oh my God, I was like going outside and it was doing
You were
that, like,
swimming
spray. Lightning. Oh yeah, I wish. If I
It'd just be hilarious one day to just see you like on a regular Tulsa street where it's flooded and you're just like floating on your back. Like, it's great out here, everyone.
Why is everybody inside?
the water's fine. Yeah, no, actually, I mean, if I, you know, kind of had the self-awareness of my child self, that's exactly where I would be. That's 100% where I would be. And in fact, I was. I mean, I remember as a kid, like whenever it would rain, I would go outside and try to find like where there would be these little currents, you know, of water, and I would just sit in it, and I was like, oh yes, it was so nice, dude.
You were meant to be a fairy witch.
Man, I
or
like
a forest witch, not a fairy witch. But yeah, a fairy. Yeah, you can be a fairy too.
I think
can
just
see
a
that.
fairy would be great. You know, it's like, it's so funny. Like, this is the duality of my personality in my mind. And that, like, some of me is like, yes, I want to be a fairy. And the other part of me is like, yes, I am also a goblin.
Yeah. You know, I think that was within a lot of us, you know.
Yeah, right?
I relate to that a lot. And just, I never felt more like a goblin than when I was pregnant, because then you're like, and you like can't get up.
Can't get up. Just roll around everywhere.
Toenails are as long as fucking
Well,
this microphone.
I mean, you'd have to do a lot of reaching, you know. And well, honestly, like with my tube and stuff, sometimes there are certain positions that are uncomfortable, and that's what makes certain maintenance things like annoying. Whether it's like, you know, waxing my legs or doing stuff like my toenails or whatever. And like as a pregnant woman, I mean, dude, you can't see it. Like you'd have to bend all, like, it's like no one should expect anybody to fuck around with that.
Yeah, my legs were invisible to me for all I know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
You're
Yeah.
like, were they even there?
Yeah.
didn't use them.
Beats me.
But yeah, no, I feel like I'm in goblin mode like 90% of the time. And then like when I'm out and about, I feel like a fairy.
Like, fra-la-la.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what I feel like it is for her.
I
Yeah.
just like,
I think
wanna-
everybody perceives that as well.
I just want to like sprinkle some love dust on
Some
the
very
people
dusty.
as I go.
Honestly, I'm surprised that you don't already just carry glitter and do that to people.
Dude,
Honestly,
I mean, well,
you
I used to have like glitter spray or whatever that would just like stick to my skin and
My
stick
God,
to other
I
people's
know I'm
skin.
getting you.
Cool.
Everything.
Cool. Glitter.
Then she's just gonna be like, you know, like,
I know. Oh my God.
She's gonna be like, "Are you feeling down?" And then you'll just be magically
you are
all better.
I I feel like I would be a very weird fairy in that, like, I would almost like I want to spread that love dust and whatever, but I also be like, hey, like I'm like the listening fairy or something, like where I could just like sit around and listen to everybody's fucking problems.
She's like, I am Rhonda. I will listen to your problems.
And I
She's
will
got a
love
flute.
you.
Like, tell me.
No, I'll have my harp lyre.
Ooh,
the
yes.
moon thing. That
Oh
it's
my
a little harp.
gosh.
I love it.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll be like, yes, tell me more.
And they all just want to pour their souls to you.
And then, I mean, I
could see it.
I want it to be a rejuvenation.
And then they walk out of your little tree house frolicking like you with a little bit of love dust themselves.
If you look closely, you'll even see it trailing behind them just a little bit.
Yeah, she's the opposite of Ursula stealing souls. She's like, gives them more soul.
There's a hole in your soul. I can see it.
I think we need to write
Someone
a
needs
script.
to, yeah. Oh my gosh, we should make this into like a little. We should find someone to
little
commission
skit.
it into like a little children's book or something for Raya about teaching
Rhonda
her
Lou.
kindness. Rhonda Lou, the kindness fairy witch or something.
I dig. I would cry. I would cry forever. I really would, dude.
And that would be the last page of the book when you open the book yourself. And you're like,
Dude, well, so Brian was telling me the other day, he was like saying, you know, different mythical creatures that he related me to or whatever, but he was like, but if it was a deity, it would be Saloon, which is like this deity in D&D that, or, I don't know if it's D&D.
I'm sorry, that was a lot of like, what?
But she was like the goddess of the moon, essentially.
Okay.
And she's like the goddess of like second chances and like all this stuff. And I was like, damn, dude, that's cute. That's cute. Oh, I was like,
I mean, what did I
like
say
that.
in like the first episode? I think that like you could literally probably murder someone and Rhonda would still find the like one thing to be like,
Redeeming
well, you know,
quality.
you still this, and I'd be like, Rhonda, no.
Yeah, I feel like when you were younger, it was definitely like now.
Frightening.
I feel like you have a bit more of a barometer still, but yeah, back in the day, we'd all worry.
Good Lord,
Be
is
like,
she gonna just go
"Rhonda!"
home with somebody?
Yeah.
Precisely. And we'll see. Okay. And this is something that I do kind of wonder if it might lend itself to me potentially being on the spectrum and whatever. And this is stuff that I've talked about with my therapist too, in that like, especially as a young one, I was always operating under the assumption that like whoever I was talking to or interacting with, they were only capable of the same things that I was capable of, as far as like, you know, how you would treat a person or whatever. So like growing up, when there would be instances of someone doing something harmful or whatever, it was like I just couldn't like
Comprehend it.
I couldn't understand. I was like, why on earth would anybody do this, you know? And so, but I would never expect it from anyone, and so I was very trusting in that way because I was operating under that assumption. But yeah, as I got older, I was like, oh, no. I mean, time and time again, I'm like, no, people are very capable of things that I would never want to do. And I have to understand that I can't understand their motives sometimes,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to, particularly.
Yeah, I mean, on the podcasts that I listen to, a lot of the times when they bring up, you know, like I can't even comprehend, like usually the co-host or whoever they're talking to is like, well, that's probably a good thing. You probably don't want to be able to comprehend that because, I mean, you don't want to.
It's like, it was always very
Yeah.
apparent to me that whenever people were doing harmful things, that they were very much in pain over something. Like that was always very clear to me. And I also felt like even abusive people and stuff, like that it was actually really hurting them to be that kind of toxic. And so I think they, like, people like that are just kind of like living and breathing in their toxicity so much that they just expel it out, you know?
Well, yeah.
And so it's like I could see it as like this kind of like tragic thing in a way, but
there are people who go through the same type of issues and have the same
And
type of
do the
problems that
work.
don't go on to do those same
Shitty
type of horrible,
things.
crappy things. you know, along the way. And it's all about choices. You can either let those things make you stronger, or let them turn you into a horrible succubus person that just sucks the life out of everything and is angry at life and whatnot, what have you. And you can't let that, you can't let that affect your life in that way. It's just not good for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. That's what I would always kind of come back to, is I was like, this is really shitty for you too. But and I think sometimes when someone is so like comfortable in their toxicity and like treating people a certain way or whatever, like there really isn't a way to kind of like show them like, hey, like it doesn't have to be like this, you know, like they just really don't know any other way at a certain point. Unless it's like through therapy and stuff.
Exactly. I was about to say,
Blessed
unless
therapy, and you can do the work. Like, I mean, like it is hard. It's hard to be vulnerable in that way and really kind of sort through, you know, different. Because even me, like, you know, I've tried to figure out where my toxic traits might lie, you know, and I think particularly avoidance would be up there for me, but I mean, I think it is ultimately better for the other people too. Like, it's not just better for the people around them, because it definitely would be, but it's really better for them too.
Because, you know, there is a difference in toxic types of situations that you can be in, you know, abusive, like you were saying, like where it's like physical, or things like you said, you know, your most toxic trait is avoidance. It's not always physical abuse or things like that. That's not always what makes up something like a toxic. Relationship, or something that's toxic that you put off onto somebody else or whatever. But the people that are toxic in those abusive ways, whether it be like physical
or
emotional abuse towards your spouse or whoever it may be, younger siblings, parents to kids, etc. It's almost like the more that they are not held accountable for those actions, they start to think, well, nobody's stopping me, so is it really that bad? So then it just escalates from there until, you know, in a stance of, say, like a domestic abuse, you know, somebody dies of it or whatever. It's just, we need to, as a collective community, be able to recognize these things and know when we need to step in and be like, whoa, you guys need to look at these actions and look within yourselves and figure out like what you need to do, because, you know, you say it time and time again, people aren't going to change unless they want to, unless they want to take that initiative. But sometimes they aren't going to take that initiative until something drastic happens to make them see the initiative that they need to take, you know?
Yeah. And well, I had a friend that that once said abuse is a cheap way of keeping somebody around. And for a second, like when he first said it, I didn't really understand what he meant. But then, like over time, the more we talked about it, I fucking got it. And that, like, sometimes, especially toxic people or whatever, they might find that in enveloping people in these ways and kind of being very psychologically manipulative or whatever does keep people around for a little while. And so they kind of lean on that or whatever. But the thing is that it oftentimes, like, victims of these things, even if it is in lighter ways or whatever, say like a toxic coworker or something, like victims will leave. Like, they will find their way out one day, most of the time. And so it is cheap in that, like, you could otherwise just actually do the work on yourself and trying to understand yourself and what your pressure points are, so that that toxicity doesn't come out at somebody else, you know? Because you could actually find that you could keep someone around for long term if you do that kind of work. Because I think, especially like with a lot of the toxicity online that I can see with different men and stuff, it I think so much of it does come from a bitterness of like being alone and whatever. And I'm like, well, man, like, I mean, you know, like there really is something to like trying to figure yourself out, and even know what you want, and then kind of looking for that. No,
I don't think it was off very long. Why is it?
Okay.
we didn't go
Sorry about
anywhere. We didn't go anywhere at all.
We've been here the whole time.
Yeah, most definitely. And I was on some tangent about toxic humans and stuff, and the work that they can do on themselves to, have a more fulfilling life. And I hope you guys do that work because, you deserve it. But yeah, okay.
I love it.
Hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
At least it wasn't like last time where I was like, what the fuck was I saying, dude? What was it?
You just sounded
posturing?
You just sounded like Patrick.
Yes, yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I have an inner Patrick 100%. I always have. I always have. Firmly grasp it. Firmly grasp it. Oh my God. Sometimes, so like I'll listen to Noel sometimes, and I'll do my man voice while like to his raps and stuff, and it's fun, dude. Sometimes I can hear, I'm like, whoa, I didn't know my voice could do that.
Yeah,
but it does have
girl.
like just a pretty dense lower register. That I haven't tried to utilize as much until more recently, and I'm like, I love it.
You've got the
feels
voice
good.
too to change and do wacky things with it.
Well, and even so, like with that song I had sent you, like kind of doing these like ascending notes and then descending notes at the same time, and like actually getting like pretty low in some of them. I'm like, this is fucking fun, dude. I've been having a lot of weird fun in Ableton. We're doing like Ableton Live has 12 for a free trial for like 30 days, and I've been just getting a fucking kick out of it. I've been losing my mind. There's so many effects that you can do. All
and
these,
it's just music editing software, right?
Yeah.
Like, does it come with its own sounds and stuff?
Yes.
Like a library of sounds?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It has a stocked library of different instruments and stuff, and then you can also get plugins that, like, if you want like a cello that like actually somebody recorded. Then
Yeah, because the violin and one of the ones that you sent me was that.
it was cello.
But yeah, I know it was cello, but like, was it just the computer made it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It sounded so good.
Yeah, well, like I said, that plugin that we use is actually like a recording of these of like a player playing these different notes
okay,
on
so
the
it
cello.
is a live cello.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
Yes, but it's just like blended into whatever notes that you program into it. And it's so sick,
Whoa,
dude. And
that's crazy.
like the MIDI instruments, like I had never messed around with them much before, but now after discovering that, and particularly the cello, for whatever reason, I feel like goes really well with the keyboard and my voice. Like it kind of feels like it all balances out in this fun way that I'm like, fuck, I wish I could play the cello. But Chad was actually saying too, like there are these MIDI keyboards, kind of like Petty Fox has and stuff, that where you can like program like one instrument on the right hand side and a different instrument on the other. So I could play piano notes on one side and cello notes on the other, and I'm like, that would be fucking cool, dude. That would be really fucking
awesome.
sick. I would get a kick out of it. It would be so sick. And dude, it's crazy. I was like watching this live broadcast show or whatever for a radio station that seems to like spotlight a lot of like indie artists and whatever, and they'll like record their whole set live and play it on the radio. And it's called like KEXP or something like that. And but for like the first time I was actually watching like M83 and these different, what I assumed were kind of more like digital bands. By that I mean like I thought that most of their sounds were made virtually, but like I mean like with M83, dude, they were doing all sorts of fucking crazy shit to make these sounds, and I was like, holy fuck, man. Like it was so cool. I was just like, damn, I would I would actually really get a kick of seeing something like that live, because like some of them are like playing kind of like a MIDI keyboard or whatever, bringing in these other instruments, but then some of them, I mean, they're just like using like instruments I haven't even fucking seen before, and I'm just like, what is that? What is that? That sounds so cool. Like there was one thing that one of the dudes in M83 was using that was like this really low bassy, like almost like not a tuba, but it was just like a fucking, I don't even know what. Yeah, like a weird fucking bassy horn. And it was just kind of like the undertone of the song, like and it had this really nice build, and I was like, what the fuck is this? But no, it's really cool to see like these different bands actually like play out a lot of their stuff live. There's this other one, Mum, that like they use all these crazy different instruments and like rain sticks and stuff like as they're going, and I'm like, god damn. And one of the members of that band too, she's a cello player, she just like has it strapped to her chest and she's just like dancing. I'm like, oh my god, it's so badass.
She's
it's
like, yeah,
so
dance with this cello.
I respect it so much.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, maybe I can send you that song.
Yeah, do it.
I had a lot of fun with it, and I just re-recorded it, and hopefully I'll like this one a little better. But I realized too that like I did the first one to a click track, but I did it again to a click track, and I played it faster the second time around. So I had to like speed. I shaved off like 30 seconds of that song. And I was like, oh fuck.
Dude, let's do a day together.
Dude, seriously, like especially
I don't know why I said it
like
that,
when Chad's at work, you should just come by sometime. I mean, like if
absolutely
it like, dude, yeah, that would be amazing, because I'd love to show you like what you could do, because even like for covers and stuff, if you just wanted to like lay one down for shits and gigs, dude. And then just like do some MIDI instruments over and whatever, like, because what I've been doing, I feel like I sounded kind of boomy for a second. What I've been doing was like just playing notes on my keyboard, then like recording that into Ableton, and then it will like kind of transcribe it to the MIDI, and then you can throw any instrument on it, and it's so fun, dude. It's so fun. Because you can just hear all of these almost like alternate versions
of your song, and it changes the vibe completely
every time. Yeah, like because me and Chad had redone a couple of ours too with just MIDI instruments instead of the guitar, and like it was like, oh, this is like almost like a trance like beat vibe, and we were just like, oh, this is sick, and it's awesome.
You're like watching it come even more to life.
Yeah, and that is really cool when like the sounds and the vibes, and you're just like. But there was a time when you didn't know how to make any of this, you know, and then you're like, damn, finally.
Yes, exactly. Well, and
like you always knew it was there, but damn, takes a while.
It does. And well, it was something I really didn't think I would return to. I mean, as far as like singing my songs to myself and writing them, I knew I was always going to do that. I never stopped doing that. But as far as like performing them or actually, you know, trying to get some wherewithal on any instrument, feeling capable or competent with something like that was not how I felt. And I still struggle a lot with my left hand in particular. Like it's harder for me to keep time.
Mine
with it.
too. I mean, it's still. I just, it takes, it's just.
It's like my dexterity is like fucking off on this one. Like where like my thumb will like slip and hit another key. Like that. It's not so much that I can't do it or know what the chords are and play them on it, but it's like, it's almost like, I don't know, like I just do a lot of slipping and hitting the wrong notes, even though I'm starting on the wrong note, but slipping and hitting the other one while I'm doing the other shit with this one. And I'm like,
it's not your dominant hand, and it's hard for your brain, I think, to focus on that, like and move both hands at the same time to different like
rhythms. Yeah, and it's because I like to do like kind of different patterns like with different songs, as far as like kind of like I said, like doing ascending or descending notes or whatever. But but yeah, sometimes I'm like, like there have been times with certain songs where I've played like a more complicated chord and kind of in a single note arpeggiated fashion, and then I'll just record separately another version of it on the other side, because doing it at the same time is hard. Like there's just no way.
There is a way.
It's like in like a year or two or 3 or 4 maybe I can do more that way, but regardless, I mean, having the accessibility to even do that now has been so fucking
yeah,
sick.
because then, like, would you just record, like, a backing track, or, I mean, like, just the instrumental, so then when you can sing live, like, just do it that way?
Yeah, well, I was thinking that will kind of be, I think I might still play piano to it, but have the backing track with the cello and stuff too, because I just fucking love the way that sounds. And like both the mixer that we use and take to Gypsy and stuff, it has a Bluetooth on it, and you can control how loud you want it and everything too. And so, but most PAs have a Bluetooth anyway as well, but with our mixer, we'll always have that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it would be cool to kind of blend it together, like both playing, and I would probably keep it to the simple stuff, like while I'm playing live until I get better. Right. And then I think it could be a lot of fun that way.
Oh my gosh, what if we could get to a point where we could be like dueling pianists, like just doing crazy shit.
Dude, well, we should go to Gypsy sometime because they have the 2 pianos there, dude.
And yeah, you can just practice randomly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We're just like, before you know, we're like putting on a whole show, and they're like, damn.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I could even tell you like different chords that I'll play for a song or whatever, and then you can kind of do like either like kind of an ascending or descending thing or whatever you want. Like I think that would be so fucking cool.
Just fucking jam.
That would be sick, dude.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Amazing. Amazing.
I love it. Do it.
But yeah, I mean, I've been writing a lot too, which is crazy. Cause
you're just really good at letting it flow. You've always been really good at it. I feel like the songs don't flow to me like that, you know? Even the only song that ever flowed was fucking Brown Eyes. But even then, I mean, it's had a lot of changes. But I feel like anytime I'm trying to like write a song, you know, it's just.
I liked the one that you did about your hometown.
Mm-hmm.
You did at Gypsy. That one was really good. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that one's so beautiful. Yeah. That one's one
I think
of my
I also get like scared, like. It's like I have to do it over and over. Like
exactly.
I don't like to practice. Like I don't. Who knows what brain that is?
Girl,
like,
me either. I'm like, I just want to get up there and do it.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but that even comes with performing it over and over. Like sometimes I'm like, maybe it's not that good anymore. You know, just because I'm just like.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like I want to be so good that like things can be kind of precise. You know, and like how I perform it.
Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I mean, even like with the recording and stuff too, I'm like a total perfectionist with some of it, and I'm like, it doesn't have to be that way. This is, you know, like this is for me, you know.
But at least that flow is just like you've got it. You know how to listen to it. I feel like maybe I don't surrender very well, or.
Well, with writing, it is kind of weird in that like you almost do have to surrender to a very vulnerable part of yourself. Well, with writing, you're kind of like if you're doing comedy, I think kind of. I don't know what you would surrender to there.
Well, and I think like sometimes I'm like, should I write a funny song or just like a regular song? And I think like I let that keep like being a barrier for me to like figure it out, because I think I just have to write it, like not judge it. I think I'm just preemptively judging it, thinking it's one or the other, and it can be all the things, you know. It's like if I have a goal to write a musical, musicals are all over the place for emotionally.
Yes, and they encompass all of it, you know, and there can be comedic relief within all of it too.
Yeah,
I could definitely see you writing a musical.
You know,
I know.
And it's
I've seen it in my head for a long time.
And now this was the one time it fucking flowed. I have this like Hall & Oates musical that I want to do, but it also will have like other musicians that are of similar style. And I have like this whole storyline with all these songs and characters, and all of it was like I was on a plane and I was like, what should I do? Write a musical. Like that never happens that way, like you know. And then but honestly, I feel like I have written a lot of my powerful inspirational stuff on a plane, so I guess or something. But yeah,
I think it keeps you somewhere where you have to sit and think or whatever. You're like, well,
You can't use your
do
phone or
anything
something.
else. Yeah. And I think that's why.
That's all I need is just like fucking sit
Yes.
with a piece of paper, bitch. I'm like,
Been right in front of me all this time.
I just can't even write. Like, there's nothing to say.
Well, when it's emotional stuff for me, like I do kind of surrender to this very vulnerable part of me, and this like really almost, I don't know if like wholesome is the right word, but like with that song, like with the end of it, it says like if light never dies, then I'll leave you mine, and that's why like you'll never be too far from me, and having like just that sincerity in what I'm writing makes it more cathartic to sing. But so like I mean it does take me to it's a very good space, but it is like a very vulnerable space.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing that. I mean, like, I'm never. I think it's hard for me to get that vulnerable with songwriting for sure. But I think I also just do better on the fly sometimes. That's where I'm like, I've got to work some musical improv into this because I think that will challenge me, but also keep me playing where I can just like play whatever, and then but then balance like asking people questions and trying to make jokes out of them, you know.
Yeah.
And well, that Up All Night song that we were working on that one day, I was really fucking digging where that was going.
And I've like forgotten all about that.
I'm sorry.
You
Up
know?
All Night song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
so it was like, I
sounded
think
so
it was
fucking cool.
I was like writing in here, and it was about being up all night basically. And just like the silliness of it, and
the freedom.
Yeah, just doing all the silly things after midnight, you know. That's not. It's not at all sexual. It's just that tone gave like, what am I doing? But not that.
Dancing.
It's basically talking about eating chicken nuggies and like after midnight and just
living your best life.
chugging a Red Bull and then like getting crazy and then eating some bread because you're like, whoa, that was too much caffeine. And
You should put that in.
I love it. Oh my God. Maybe we should like collab on a intro song or something.
Well, I was
That would
also
be
gonna
so
say, I
cool.
was thinking like while you guys were talking, like maybe I could practice some of my musical improv stuff like with you guys, you know, where it's like, because some of it, it's like, so I can basically make like any song, like a happy song, sad song, angry, like so there's like that as far as things to like go
Like
through.
genre, yeah.
And then I don't know, like what topics, like I guess you could do relationships or something, like what's your boyfriend's name or something, or are you single? And then like maybe make them a song or whatever, but like use you guys, and I can just improv with you guys, because for improv, like you do kind of have to practice improv, you know, but it's not like regular rehearsing. You're flexing that muscle of wit or whatever.
Where you're just going with the flow entirely.
That was always my favorite part of drama was improv. Yeah.
Dude, maybe we'll get really good at this, and then this can just be one of our party tricks at the live shows. But then that's how you could tie in, okay, like, all right, they did something and now we'll bring up an audience member or something, and let's make a song with you or whatever.
Oh my
It's all coming
God. That would be so fucking
Tell us
cool,
what you think.
But that is like, whew, that is just a lot of
Work.
a lot of work, and just to do it for live shows. Like, I mean, I think I just had to keep practicing it live with people to be like, I can do it, because to think of like coming up with songs on the spot.
Yeah.
But I know I can do it because it is something
Yeah.
I just naturally do.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, all the times I've seen you do musical improv, it's been fucking awesome. And you were always on pitch and fucking hilarious. So I would love that. And I totally get it though too, because it's like, I think even just like I told you guys, like just practicing in front of you guys, I feel the same fear that I feel in front of any
I would still get
audience.
nervous with you, but that is
Exactly.
the energy needed a little bit.
Yes, for the practice.
rehearsing.
Yes, to be right. Yeah, for it to really hit. Because I totally get that, and I would love that.
Oh my gosh, that would be so fun.
Okay, maybe like next time we record, we'll like work in a little time for that or something.
All right.
Because that, it's like, I don't have to like prep. Because I guess where my artist flow does come is performing live or kind of doing something that is like that, where it's like, that's where I can follow the flow. Because then I'm in front of people and I'm like, I just have to.
Yeah, it's
Right,
on now. Yeah. No,
Yeah. And then, I mean, we could even do one where we record, like,
yeah,
just,
that's what I was thinking.
you know,
because
just
I was
like,
And then,
let's
watch
see.
it back or something.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Well, I'm like, the piano's here. Like, you could just straight up, and then we would be just like,
Yes,
be
and
like,
ooh.
yeah. Ask us the questions. We'll be like, oh yeah, this, and then you can just fucking hit it.
I'd be so scared. Probably the first couple times would be bad.
Well, hey, but that's
But
the
I gotta
point.
practice.
Yeah, that's the point, dude. Because yeah, I feel like for me,
But I
turning
can
on
fail
that,
in front of you guys and you guys.
exactly.
And the internet.
No, but for real, like I think I think, you know, for me, turning on that improv part of my mind is hard, and I would have several false starts, I think.
Yeah.
And then I can get into it, you know.
Okay.
So,
And that really is how it is anyway, like when you're
Yeah.
practicing improv.
exactly.
You gotta, like, that's what the warm-ups are for, the zip,
Right.
zap, stop. Just get your
Yes.
brain ready to rotate.
Exactly, yeah.
Rotate that brain, girl.
All
my
right,
gosh, that's so
dudes.
funny.
Well, we have been here
Oh my
a
gosh.
minute.
Yeah, it's
So thank you for
Dang.
joining us.
wow.
Thank
Yeah,
you for
it's
hanging
been a good
out.
one. I think this was a good one.
I know. We had some mind melds left
I
and
saw
right.
some laughing tears. I saw, yeah, it was a good one.
Hallelujah. I look forward to the next one, especially if we end up doing that. All right. Bye, guys. See you
Bye.
later. Take care of yourselves.